I'm about to turn this camera off. My fault. I meant turn it off. Well, not really, but kind of. But I just had the thought arise just now. And turn this off so I can't drive and look at the camera at the same time. Hold on. All right, that's better. Sorry, I don't. That's not safe. I can just kind of hold it in my hand and talk to the microphone. I don't feel safe driving like that. But anyway, plus I'm just waking up too, and I look kind of crazy. I'm actually just taking some. I was taking some trash out to the dumpster, and had to get some fuel for my generator. So that's what I'm doing now. And then after that, I have to stop at the grocery store and get a few groceries. I'm trying to do better at like not eating out every day or like 5 days a week because it's a lot of wasted money, basically. Which I mean, like groceries in general are expensive, but I'm trying to like really be more conscious of my spending so that I can direct funds in my resources and use them most effectively. Because I'm just trying to be more aware of it. I mean, I'm trying at least. I don't know whether I'm succeeding or not. It's a different story, but I'm trying. I'm trying to be more conscious of like my spending and just not just anyway. But the video was about. Sorry, I'm rambling and ranting again about everything but the actual video. I apologize. But yeah, so I just had this is gonna be a quick video. It's not gonna be a long video. I just had a quick thought about just life and how like we're all seemingly trying to like figure out life and like like what we're supposed to do and like just basically the whole concept and idea of like getting your shit together and just figuring out like what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. Everybody just says work hard, oh, you gotta work hard, you gotta do the work, but like it's just like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, but it's like you can work hard for nothing. You can work hard and be getting absolutely nothing done, so I just feel like one thing I'm becoming more aware of is just simply being more aware of the amount of energy that I'm putting out or the lack of energy that I'm allowing myself to have, like stuff like I said racks. I meant to say like rest and relaxation and time to just kind of rejuvenate and regenerate to kind of go back to war or go back to work and get done whatever you need to get done to accomplish whatever goal or task or obstacle or challenge you're trying to like get around or navigate, aka life. Like I'm realizing like I think it's really, really important to really like assess and analyze like what exactly we're doing right now, like how we're spending our energy. Maybe it's how much we're working and how little amount of time we're actually giving back to ourselves, and assessing and being like, is the amount of energy I'm putting out really worth what I'm getting back? You know what I'm saying? Like just like really like micro analyzing certain shit and becoming because my whole thing is a lot of times like in life we'll just kind of do things unconsciously because we're just used to doing things a certain way, or we don't know any other way, or it's just how we've always done things. I feel like a lot of things that we do in our life we just do very unconsciously and we don't mean to. It's just when you're just used to like for example, like if you just have you ever like just worked and got paid but never actually like checked your hours on your paycheck stub or like your actual are you periodically like check your actual hours to make sure that your hours are correct? I mean, I'm guilty of this. Like, we assume that our jobs are paying us correctly, and normally they are, but there have been times where my job has absolutely gotten things wrong on my paycheck. And, a lot of times I feel like we'll just kind of work in a way to where we don't even really like assess, what we're doing. We just doing it because we just assume that everything is accurate and correct. But for me, like, I'm trying to become more conscious and aware of, like, because like right now, like, I'm working like 2 jobs right now, and I'm just getting like 1 day off a week. So my whole thing is, I'm working like this. I'm basically just getting 1 day off a week, which is very little time for myself to kind of relax and rejuvenate, just kind of like reset and get ready to go back to work and do it all again. But like, with me getting and working 2/3 shift jobs, so like right now, I'm basically like kind of like just doing like an assessment on, how much energy I'm putting out and like what I'm actually getting back from like that energy. I know this sounds like common sense and like, well, duh, nigga, like that's what you should do. Like, yeah. What I'm saying is like, I mean, I'm talking for myself. Like, I feel like I will just be working a certain way and won't really be aware of like, how much are you working between these 2 jobs for this, small amount of time you have for yourself. Like, is that shit really worth it? And like, it should be like common sense, but like, I feel like I do a lot of things unconsciously. And so I feel like, a lot of times in life, like we feel like we have to just figure it out, like know like what to do or what path to take or how to fix or change our life or our circumstances. And we just have all this pressure that we put onto ourselves or maybe like our spouse or like our family or other people kind of put this pressure on us to kind of just figure life out and figure out like how to get to a better place, whether it's financially or maybe mentally or spiritually or a combination of all or, other shit too, obviously. So I feel like we just, we have this pressure and then like, not to mention yourself because you put a lot of pressure on yourself a lot too. I mean, I do. I don't mean to, but it's just, we judge ourselves just as worse as everyone else does too. We don't mean to, but we just kind of do because, we don't want to, be seen or feel like we're not worthy or, we don't deserve, a good life or, love or, basically all the things that people want out of life. We don't want to think or feel like we're not worthy of it. So we feel like we have to prove to ourselves and to everyone else through, how well we figure life out or, handle life or, our ability to, quote unquote, get our shit together. We judge ourselves so harshly and it's because of like fear, you know what I'm saying? Like it's fear. And, so, kind of lost my train of thought just now, but, we do that. Like no one judges us worse than we judge ourselves or we judge ourselves just as much or, as badly as everybody else judges us. So, again, like I said, we have this whole, problem with, needing like we have to figure life out and trying to figure life out. And, everybody's trying to like figure out like, what's the right decisions to make. Like, we always feel like we have to figure things out like right now. At least I do, like I feel like I constantly obsess over, trying to figure out like, what am I supposed to do? Like, and it's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm always like literally like trying to find out a solution and how to most, effectively like utilize like my energy and, how I use it to work towards what I want. And so I think like one of the biggest things is not always going to be like figuring out life or knowing exactly what to do and when to do it. I think a big part of it, a really huge part of it is just becoming more conscious and aware in your life and look at things, the details about your life that you just kind of take for granted and don't even really think about that much. It's like, for example, like what I'm talking about is like today, I just had this thought. I'm like, man, I'm working like this. I only have like 1 day off. Like between these 2 jobs, is this money really like, for me giving up this much time and this much of my energy, mental, even spiritual, psychological, getting up, going in. And even though I do have an easy job, but still, like, is what I'm getting back and what I'm able to do with the time that I exchanged for money, like, is that an equal amount of exchange for like how much of my life, in my time, I'm giving away to these companies? And I know it seems like common sense to ask this, but I honestly don't ask these things that much. I'm just normally like, well, I have a job, I'm working, I have 2 jobs, and I never really like just kind of just really assess things, like really assess it in detail and be like, does the way I'm working really make sense for what I'm able to do with the amount of money that I'm making from between these 2 jobs and the lack of, personal time and rest? Is that equal to what I'm making equal to the amount of time, the amount of, mental energy, physical energy, and just less time for myself? Is that equal to what I'm able to do with what I'm making between these 2 jobs? And it's like, because if it's not, it's just like, what are we doing here? If I can't really accomplish shit with what I'm making between 2 jobs, like, why am I doing it? I can at least have just 1 job, have more time to myself, and possibly accomplish more with the free time, And I know, again, this sounds like common sense, but I feel like, again, my point is that I think part of like getting your shit together is just simply stopping long enough in your unconscious, patterns, your unconscious actions, your unconscious everyday, tasks that you do every day, and being like, does this shit really make sense? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just becoming aware of like what you're doing, how you're doing it, and basically like just asking yourself, is this really serving me? Like, is this really serving me? Am I getting scammed here? Can I keep more of my energy for myself and my mental health versus just kind of doing all this extra shit, and it really ain't get me nowhere. Like, everybody says, oh, work hard, work hard, work hard. But like I said earlier, you can work hard and be getting absolutely nothing done. In other words, you can be running extremely fast, burning your energy up, but you ain't went nowhere. You ain't getting shit done. Like, nothing's working. Like, the work you're putting, the amount of work and effort that you're putting in to making money and going to work, it's literally not doing anything. It's literally like the treadmill effect. You're running, you're burning calories, but you really ain't went nowhere. You know how to work hard and be a good worker, but it ain't accomplishing shit. So you've got the work ethic part down, but now, like, people sometimes will take advantage of people that have good work ethic, and they'll siphon their energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be a good worker, you can be a hard worker and be like getting taken advantage of. Like, that shit does and can happen. I used to think that just because I was a good worker or a hard worker, like, that guaranteed me to have lots of money in life and to have, to get a good paying job and, get moved up and stuff like that. But it does not guarantee that. A good worker just basically means that you're going to continue to work hard no matter what. And you don't want to work hard if it's not serving you, if it's not paying off. So again, my whole thing is, I don't think it's always about figuring out like, well, what am I supposed to do? Or how do I do? Or how do I make more money? Well, how do I change my circumstances? Like, what do I do? Like, how do I get to that point? Because I'll sit here and obsess about, like, just, I'm trying to figure this whole life thing out, but it's just like, everything I look into, it just seems like it's just some kind of scam, or people are just kind of take advantage of your desperation and stuff like that. It's just, people are trying to just steal way too much of your time for like not enough in exchange. Like, you can't even live the life or even build the life that you're trying to build to change your circumstances to actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, do this shit. Like, it's not sustainable. And so, like, I'm just getting to that point now where I'm like, okay, like, I'm assessing, like, okay, is what I'm doing making sense? Is this actually going to, you know, is this actually making sense for how I'm working? You know, like, I'm just micro analyzing like everything about my life right now and trying to figure out, like, you know, is this, you know. So anyway, that's basically my video. I just had that really weird, you know, just what's the word, epiphany today. I'm like, yeah, man, like, I'm just, and the more I micro analyze things, and like I said, I'll actually go over, like, you know, I'll go over like my finances and like what I'm making between, you know, when I'm working and the amount of hours I'm working, and, you know, the amount of days I'm getting off. And I'm just, you know, realizing that, you know, between the cost of living today and what I'm making and the amount of time that I'm giving, it's just not even looking nowhere near like, you know, like it makes sense, basically, you know. And it almost just kind of makes me realize how much of us live, and how many of us, why can't I talk today? I don't know. I mean, it's weird. I'm having a hard time talking today. I mean, I think I'm still kind of like waking up, but I'm just having the hardest time like speaking coherently right now. I don't know why. I mean, but anyway, I mean, I kind of have that issue sometimes, but it just seems like it's like way more like worse right now. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I apologize about that. And I do kind of talk kind of fast sometimes too, but today it's like I'm just talking fast, and I'm like, you know, talking more weird than normal, if that makes sense. But again, you know, yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I'm not going to drag this video out too much longer, but it's just, I think it's really important to not always feel like you have to figure everything out. You don't have to figure everything out. You don't have to know the right path to take, or, you know, the right moves to make immediately. You know, like you do have to figure it out. I mean, you know, life is you know, one long figuring it out, in my opinion. You know, you never actually figure shit out. You kind of just figure shit out, you know, as you go. You kind of just get better as you go. But like, I don't think anybody really ever figures it out, you know. Like, I just feel like it's about becoming more aware of what you're doing, the results you're getting based on, you know, the amount of energy you're exerting in your life. And then like that can better help you to determine, you know, how to move going forward. You know, I don't think, like, everybody makes it seem like, you know, it's just one aha moment and you just figure out like, oh, now I know what to do. And I really don't think it's like that. I think it's just a gradual, you become more aware of what you're doing, how you're doing things, and how to adjust and get just different, you know, different effects for like different reactions or different, you know, outcomes based on like your choices, you know. So, you know, and it's just, you can only do that by becoming more aware and just in what you're doing in your life, and not in like a super like judgy way. It's just like, oh, well, I'm, you know, I'm let's say, for example, like I take this way to work. I'm losing like 0.5, 0.6, you know, gallons of gas by taking this longer way. I can just take this other way that's like shorter, and I'll save this much gas, which means I will ultimately save money on gas, you know, and that's ultimately money back in my pocket. Like little dumb shit like that, like you just become more aware of, and it's like, you know, they add up to like big changes in your life, you know. Like, in other words, like just basically like becoming more aware of like the shit you're doing that's making life, or the way you're doing things that's making life harder than what it has to be. I think like just shit like that is like quantum leaps in itself, because a lot of times we'll be doing things not even realizing it that's making our life like way harder than if we would have just stopped doing them, or just like done things a little bit differently. You know, like why you working two jobs and you basically like not really even making the salary of like one job or some shit like, you know what I'm saying? You could just work one job, get more time off, and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you working two jobs and not only getting like one day off, and then you still got kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just work the one full-time job and at least have 2 days, you know what I'm saying? 2 or 3 days off. So anyway, like that's kind of like what I'm on now, and just kind of become more conscious and like just fucking common sense, man. A lot of it's just common sense too. You know, it's just most of us, we just do. None of us really stop long enough and just think about what the fuck am I doing? How am I doing things? Is the way I'm doing things, is it making sense? You just stop. You don't have to figure anything out. Just stop and just analyze like what you're doing, analyze your life, analyze your patterns, analyze your behaviors. And honestly, like what really like just, if I'm being honest, what kind of triggered me to have this thought was I just became aware of certain things that, you know, I'll just say certain things that people do around me. And I'm just like, man, it's just, I'm at a point in my life, and I have been for a while actually, where I'm in this weird state where I'm just noticing a lot of small details about people and about situations and about things that people do, whether unconscious or conscious. And it's making me look at everything more deeply. I'm not trying to, it's just making me kind of just, you know, look at myself more. You know, I was like, because I'll see people do things and I'll be like, do I do that? That's really annoying. Like, why are they doing that? Like, that's really annoying. Like, why would you do that? You know? And I'll be like looking at myself and try to see if I see these same traits in myself, and then basically kind of like stop doing them, because it's really annoying when I see someone else do it or experiencing someone do it to me. So that's a nice car, an Audi. Man, that's nice. He like completely restored it. But anyway, but yeah, so yeah, it's just a lot of things I'm seeing around me. It's just making me kind of like microanalyze myself and look at myself, and, you know, in a real like way. It's just, I guess it's just making me like analyze my own patterns and behaviors more, because, you know, a lot of times it's people that's close to me and, you know, around me, and I'm just like, you know, and sometimes it's the things that certain people do. It's just like, it just makes me feel weird knowing that, you know, they're doing that. And I'm like, so again, like it's making me kind of look at myself and just really, because I don't want to be a person that does that, because I don't like when other people do it. You know what I'm saying? And I know how it makes me feel. And again, I'm not saying this in a judgy way. I'm just saying it in a way that I'm just, when your mind and your brain just start to notice the small details and patterns in life, this is the kind of thing that happens. You know, you kind of just, you start noticing everything about people. Like you notice everything about people. And it's just like, why do you do that? Like, why do you do that? Like, I know you know what you're doing. Why are you doing that? Like, man, I don't want to be like that. Or I don't want to do that. And again, this is not, I know it sounds judgy and I know it sounds bad. And I know it just sounds like I'm just kind of like sitting on this high horse. And it's not even that. It's just that I don't like it, you know? Not like, oh, why, you know, look at, you know, I wouldn't do that. It's just like, I just don't like it or prefer it. And, you know, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to just figure out like how to, you know, not do that basically. And again, it's just a lot of things that I'm just really noticing about people that's really annoying me. Really, really annoying me. And I know they don't even really mean it like that. It's just, I can't help but notice it now. I can't help but notice it now, you know? And that's what basically triggered, you know, the thought about, you know, people that do things unconsciously and consciously. It's like a lot of people do things and it's just, you know, it's just how it is. It's just how life is for them, you know, because they're just doing these things but they're not aware that they're doing them. It's just how they are, you know, and I know that I do this too. So that's what basically triggered me to just, you know, audit like what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Because if it's like, if the way I'm doing things is making shit harder, then, and again, this sounds like so common sense. It's like, well, duh. Again, duh. You should know that. Like, yeah, I did know it, but like, I'm just, for whatever reason, I am just, it really makes sense more than usual right now. You know, like if you're doing something and it's really hard, but it's not really paying you back or paying you off, like, why are you doing it? You know, or why are you working that hard for getting that little back in return? I'm not saying you don't have to work no more, but goddamn, you don't have to work that hard. You ain't getting that much money. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm kind of ranting right now. I don't know why I'm ranting so much, but I just had to like express that. And I'm sorry if I, you know, didn't express it that well, or I was talking too fast. That's just me. But yeah, I probably will more than likely get on tonight when I get to work. More than likely I'll get on here and talk some more about stuff. I got like 2 viewers on here that normally are pretty consistent about getting on my lives and having some dialogue. So I think it's Lucas and Yahweh, and it's somebody else too. The most I've had on my live streams has been like 3 or 4 people. And you know, even with those few amount of people, like I tell them every time, like, I appreciate them talking. Sometimes like Yahweh be getting mad. I'm like, what did I do, Yahweh? Like, why are you mad at me? Hold my microphone on. Yeah, that was my mom. Yeah, she just called me just now. But yeah, yeah, so it's just about me becoming more aware and more conscious about just, you know, the things I'm doing, and, you know, I'm just trying to like navigate life, man. Like, I'm not doing nothing special. Like, I'm not, you know, ultimately I feel like we're all just trying to figure this thing out, like figure out life, like figure out like how to do this shit in a way that makes fucking sense. You know, like, we all, like, people try to make it like flashy and stuff like that, and it's really not. It's just, to me, it's like about becoming more conscious, more aware of the shit that you're doing. That's probably might be dumb, might be just, you might be uninformed. You might just, a lot of things that we do, we just don't realize we're doing, or it's just, we just don't know any other better way to do it. And all the other ways just seem so far away and so hard to do, or it just seems extremely complicated where we don't even really understand like how to even begin it. You know, there's so much information out here, but all information is not good information. There's a lot of information out there that just kind of just confuses you and just sounds fancy, but doesn't really tell you anything. That doesn't really, it's not practical, you know. Like, how do you how do you become rich? Well, you got to read books, and you gotta, which you know, you do. But like, my thing too, like, reading books is like, you don't necessarily have to read a book. You can go on the internet. You can use Chat GPT. Everybody makes it seem like reading books is going to make you like successful and intelligent. Like, no, nigga, like, books are just information. Information can be digital or it can be hard written. Either way, it's all information, like, written by a man. You know what I'm saying? It's all information. I've said this in other videos. Reading a book don't make you smart. It might mean that you are, but books are just words on pages, and words on pages are just information. It's data, it's memories, it's you know what I'm saying? It's code, whatever you want to call it. But it's not like reading information or code in a book is going to be different from reading information on a computer or a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's all just data. You know, people just, they kill me with this, oh, you know, read 10 books a week or some shit. It's like, or you can just listen to an audio book, and it's way quicker, especially for like our, you know, natural everyday life that we have to, you know, navigate. So yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just, we live in a modern world. We know most of us are trying to buy our time back for some type of service that we offer or something, or business or job that we have. But, you know, a lot of us don't have time to just sit down for like 4 hours a day and read a book. But we sure the hell can like jump online and ask Chat GPT, or listen to an audio book while we're riding to work or working. You know what I'm saying? And we're getting the information still. It's the same thing. It's just, like, to me, it's working smarter, not harder. I can literally make money and listen to an audio book in the background about how to think and grow rich. I can make money while I'm, reading or learning about how to make money. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always about just looking like you smart and you're productive and looking like, you're intellectual, and you know what I'm saying? This is like, no, like I can learn. And I do this all the time. Like I listen to podcasts about like investing and all kind of random shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I learn while I'm working. Like, why should I stop working or making money just to learn? I still need money to survive right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I might like look smart, like sitting down there reading a book in fucking Starbucks, but I ain't making no fucking money. And I need money right now. I'm just saying. This is how my brain works. Okay. So yeah, I can listen to a book or watch a video that basically summarizes that entire book in like fucking 20 or 30 minutes or an hour or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And get all that information in a short fucking video. Yes, sometimes like faster is better because we have to utilize time to the best of our advantage until we get to a point to where our amount of time that we have to actually enjoy life isn't so like small. You know what I'm saying? So like between that and actually working to make money to get to that point. So that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, this is just my opinion. This is my, this is how I look at shit. Everybody is always about like how shit looks and the aesthetic of things. And I get it. Like aesthetic is important. Like I'm even trying to become more conscious of how I dress. I actually have clothes. I'm always working. So I don't ever really like get like really, really dressed up because I don't really go nowhere like that much. You know what I'm saying? If I did, I have nice shit though. I have nice clothes. I mean, I go shopping. I have nice shoes. I probably should buy a few more pairs of shoes, but I have nice shit. I don't really go out like that. And I don't be like, even like when I was dating my last two relationships, like my girlfriends really didn't even like going out. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do y'all not want to go out? Like, I'll pay for it. Like, fuck. But they don't like going out. I'm like, well, fuck it then. So I dress up nice when I go out on a date or something like that, or, I'm going somewhere like just nice. And I go out, but I just don't really go out like that, at least not lately, at least. But I have nice stuff, but I'm even trying to become more conscious of like how I dress, even if like I don't go anywhere or I'm not going nowhere with a girl. I'm just, I'm trying to like just little dumb stuff like that, like they don't take a lot of effort, it don't take a lot of effort to just put a nicer shirt on, why? I don't fucking know. Why not? Just little dumb shit like that. I'm just trying to become more conscious of that. I don't know why, but just all these things that my mind is doing is just making me like analyze and like micromanage every little fucking detail. Not that I have to, but it's just kind of like a thing of like, well, like if you can, like, why not? If it's a good change, why not? Not like I have to, not even like I really care that much, but it's just like, if it makes my experience of life potentially a little bit different, if it adds a little bit of contrast to what I'm experiencing now, why the fuck not? It can't fucking hurt. So anyway, yeah, that's my video. I have to go in here and get this fuel. I've been sitting in this gas station parking lot for like 20 minutes now. So yeah, I just wanted to express that. It ain't always about figuring life out, knowing exactly what to do. Sometimes it's just about becoming more aware of how you're living life and just doing things in a way that better serves you, or stop doing things in a way that's making things harder for you. even though you didn't mean to. You just didn't realize, or you didn't think about it long enough to realize that you were doing things in a certain way that may or may not be making things harder for you than what they already are, at least. So anyway, I'm going to end this video. I hope y'all have a good day. And again, I'll probably get online on live today or tonight after I get to work, and make another video about something. All right. Until next time, later.